All righty. We are live with Kim King, the singer, songwriter,
Hey, hey.
and actress. I saw that too. You know,
Yes.
okay, so you're doing a little bit of everything.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
basic. Just walk us through your journey, and I'll just ask a couple more questions.
Of
How you
course.
got started, and boom.
Well, I was singing, oh my God, all my life. Of course it started in church. Afterwards I was always I guess when I started singing, that's when Boys to Men first hit. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
So corner
80s.
singing was in. So that was me. The doo-woppers on the corner. From there, I ran into Ron Moore, Million,
Yeah, Million, of course.
of
Million.
course,
Everybody knows
Nick, and
Million.
no question, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No
And no
question, everybody
question.
from there. So, from there, that's where, I got into studio life and, understanding background notes and things like that. So that then ran into Power. I mean, he rest in peace.
Yeah, I went to
That's
school with
where,
Power.
really?
Ben Franklin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
we was in the same English class.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I actually met you through Power.
Yep,
That's how
because
I
he
originally
knew
met you.
me. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, he knew me. Yep.
That's right. So he had me record my first album, Her Majesty, which was the bomb. I
Yeah,
still listen
yeah.
to
You
that
had some,
album.
you had some cookers on there because I was asking them. I was like, "Yo, who is this? This
Yeah.
fire?" You
Thank
know,
you.
you
Million was
probably
all
had
through
hits.
that.
Oh yeah, oh Million, there it is. Well,
He was
Million,
all through that.
he stayed in the studios. I knew that. So
He
Million
did.
definitely, and they're coming on tomorrow actually. So
All
Million is
right.
actually in that group. So INC.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Shout out to INC. Yes. I
Yeah.
spoke to them not too long ago while they were recording. But yeah, so I mean, once I got Her Majesty done, it kind of got my feet wet. So
Yeah.
from there, that's where I started kind of branching out, different studios, meeting people. Power actually got me into opening for Frankie Beverly and Maze, Tina Marie and Keith Sweat,
Okay.
down at the Dell in Philly. And, we did a couple shows from there. After that, I guess in a sense, I kind of like fell back because I had my kids. I had my
Okay.
kids,
Yeah.
and it was like one of those things where it's like, all right, you're gonna choose music, you're gonna choose your kids. So I chose to raise them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until they got older. I just recently dropped my newest album, The Rebirth, because that's how it felt. Like I wrote the whole album. I have my good friend Chris Trilogy 215. He did a lot of my beats, and
Yeah.
R5 Fire did a couple beats on there too. And basically, it was all experiences. The same way I did Her Majesty with Powers, the same way I did The Rebirth. And now I'm
That
basically
was
working on my newest album.
okay.
This is
Well, I figured you were
personal.
still doing music. I figured you were still doing
Of
that.
course, acting is fun. I usually do honestly musicals. I love a good musical.
Yeah, of
So
course, you're a singer,
of
songwriter.
course,
You could add your own song to it.
right? I wish,
Yeah.
but it was a company up here named Band of Brothers, and I have a good friend who's the musical director for Band of Brothers. So we did things like Ain't Misbehaving, which is an old Fitz Wilder, I believe that's his name, who did all the music for that one. And then we also redid Little Shop of Horrors. So I love acting also.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you've been staying busy. From time to time I go on your page and see. You know,
Same. I do
yeah.
that
It's,
too,
it's,
too.
it's the singer. It's the singer stuff though. It's all singer stuff. So
Yeah, of course.
and it's good to always know people that's out here still doing it. Because
Right.
because the industry sometimes can make you not love it, and
Oh, yes, it can.
and
Yes, it
you'll
can.
hit a brick wall with it. But I mean, same thing with me. I'm still doing my music, and
Yes, you do.
yeah, so I still do music, and I'm
You're
quite
very
sure.
inspiring.
Yeah, so nothing really stops anyone, and then now you can create a platform for yourself
That's right.
as a verbal person out here, as podcasting and stuff like that.
That's
And
right.
you be surprised who's coming on this podcast. I know all the singers,
Of course.
so
Yes, I do.
it's
Yes.
not too many singers that's gonna get past me if and because y'all come from the same era I came from.
That's right.
Um, so
Yeah.
it's the same thing for me. You know what I
And
mean?
we've
But
all been around each other at some point. But you're
oh, no,
right. The
we've
music
all been
business,
around each other.
yeah, you're right. The music business can definitely be draining, but it's all about reinventing yourself constantly, finding a way to reinvent your talent and your craft.
Yeah.
So
What
that's
you
the
got to
trick
learn
to it all.
also is what you want for yourself, you have to want for others, especially when you meet people
Hmm.
down the line. You got to still want for them too that's how a blessing comes to you, because sometimes we can get into that mode like I'm better and because
Yeah, and
you
that's
know
not a
this.
good space all the time.
Oh yeah, and from Philly, that is number one.
Oh yes,
It don't matter what craft it is. Everybody feel as though they
right.
the greatest that ever did it.
They're the best ever. They're the
Yep,
best thing since
yep,
sliced bread. You're right.
yep,
So
yep.
you can't
So
have bad confidence coming from that alone.
no, no, no. You learn actually better from being in Philly. To me, you learn better. To me, because that energy actually can push you
Hmm.
to be
Or it can
even
destroy you.
greater. Well, it ain't gonna destroy me. So
That's right. That's right. But with Philly's crowd, I remember I did a show um down Broad and Cecil B. Moore. I would Cecil B. Moore around that area. I think it was like a day, I don't want to say North Philly day, but I forgot. Like I was working with Yvette Money at the time, and
okay.
she basically got us. She used to get us shows. She had us work with a lot of people, and we did
You
this
talking
show.
about
And I'm
Yvette Money, the rapper from back in the day?
oh yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Monica,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh,
we
Yvette. I know Yvette. I know
yep
Yvette.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a lot of I met a lot of people through her, but we did this show in Philly one time, and I was so frustrated because I'm on the stage and I'm singing and I'm dancing and I'm sweating and I'm giving it the Philly streets. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
doing it, but they're staring at me like straight face. I might see somebody in the corner bob their head or something. You know what I mean? And I was
Hmm.
frustrated, like, oh my God, I was singing. Like, I've been warming up to this for days and weeks. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn then, like, Philly is one of the toughest crowds to get through in the country. You know what I mean? A lot of
Oh yeah.
places just show you love because you're singing and they can't sing and you can. But Philly
Well,
is like, no, if they
but I'm
walk
gonna tell you
away,
something. What I learned, what I
mm-hmm,
learned from Philly was, you're right. But if they do like you, you're good. But to me, it was a couple people that they gave more tags to that really didn't have hits, because
yeah,
this thing is
true,
all about hits. It's
true,
not about, oh, because
very
they
true.
from that neighborhood, and it should have been about hits. Because if you go back to Gamble and Huff, it's nothing but hits. They
Yeah, you're
didn't care what
right.
they looked like or nothing. Long as they
Mm-mm.
had them real songs. Because I met Drew Hill actually when they was called something else, because they was signed to Kenny Gamble and them too. Because when
That's right.
Sean, the guy Sean Bryant I used to hang with, we still do music together.
Yeah,
And when I was down there, I forgot the name of their group name, but they came up with a new name as Drew Hill.
of
But
course, yeah.
I was actually around them down in Gamble spot. I saw quite a few people down there actually, because we used to go down there and have meetings with Kenny, and Kenny would always invite us to come down, and because we were songwriters, that's what we were really. So we went down there a couple of times. So I do remember how Philly is, but Philly has always been a mecca for people coming here for music, and
Mm-hmm.
they just hang around. I mean, I remember when I know everybody ain't gonna like it, but R. Kelly used to be right down at the Bellevue Stratford, and
Yeah.
playing basketball. I met Jeffrey Osborne down at the Bellevue Stratford. All these
Wow.
people was right down at the Bellevue Stratford when I was at the gym, and basically it was crazy because I was always messing around. Marcus Sherman gave me. In fact, you remember what's his name? Sung the song "Don't You Forget It."
Don't you forget it.
Yeah, the song "Don't You Forget It." Who is that? Glenn Lewis.
I'm not sure. Don't you forget it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
What song? Don't you forget it.
Glenn Lewis. It was Glenn
Glenn
Lewis.
Lewis.
Glenn
Okay.
Lewis. So Mark Sherman was actually Sherman. He hits me up because we was always cool,
Yeah.
and he would hit me up, yo, da 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 da, what's going on? I was doing the parties too,
Of
so
course. Yeah.
I would he would hit me up, and I would grab a couple of whatever artists they had. They used to send them to me. I'd take them down to Bellevue Stratford
Because
on the
Philly was a
low.
place to go if you were figuring out if this was what you wanted to do or not. This
Oh
was a
yeah,
place to get through. You know what I mean? That's
uh-huh.
what I love about my city. Is even though we could be the heaviest critics ever, it's like if you can make it through us, you're good.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you continuing on to do your
Yeah.
music. That's why I hit you, because I figured, I said, hold up, I know she's still doing her music, and like I said, I'm a singer songwriter just like you. And I said, you know what? Let
Yes.
me create this platform for people to come on here that
Yes, and I
that
really
of this
appreciate
art,
that.
that is of this artistry, because this artistry is major to me. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I know so many people right here in my city, but I said, look, you know what? I'm gonna just create a platform where I can just hit them all up. And they can
Hmm.
just go ahead and start talking on it, and you know, and tell everybody your journey and everything. So I said, I know you had
Yeah.
a journey. I said, let
Oh
me
my
hit her up.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, from meeting rappers, you know what I mean, from singing with different people. And just like I said with Monica, she was our manager for at least 3 years, I'm gonna say.
yeah,
And we frequented this studio in New Jersey, which was
yeah.
somebody's basement. You know what I mean? Like he had great sound. Don't get me wrong. He had great sound. He was really professional with his thing. But come to find out, I believe his name was D Nice. He made the beat for "Hate Me Now" for Puff.
Oh,
That's where
okay.
we met Wyclef. That's where we met the Fugees. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like so many run-ins with people and just getting advice from different people and
Yeah,
sitting and seeing different environments. The journeys, people look at me now and be looking like, Kim, no, you didn't. It's like y'all have
yeah.
no
I
idea what
know.
I seen, but the catch to it all is just keeping all your relationships strong, and you know what I mean. You can see everything in the world, but if you burn bridges everywhere you go, it's pointless. Keeping all those relationships nice and strong so you can continue to go
Yeah.
back.
Well, you know how that goes. That's the
Of
way it
course.
goes. You know. But you know, everything is a. I always tell everybody, everything has a journey to it, and if you didn't have a journey, then it wasn't normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't normal. So the bottom line is you're out here still doing what you're doing, and it's
That's right.
cool because you love what you do, because that's what you got to do when you're a R&B songwriter anyway. You know, singer songwriter. You have to you have to eliminate the fact that the um, the industry is calling shots, and do
Yeah.
what it took for you
To
to
get there in the
to
first
get
place.
there, basically. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's right.
And continue on, because don't stop loving what your love was if it's going to hurt you. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. Yeah.
And you've seen that happen. Uh, you know, I'm quite sure you've heard stories of
Of
people that
course.
went off to the left, and you know,
And it's like,
but
what happened?
that
But
it's always like that, because you know that fame part, you got to eliminate that word fame and just
yeah.
do it, and be a part of that part of just loving the music, because if you don't love the music, it ain't gonna love you back
It's
anyway.
not right, right. It's not worth it. But I do. I love it. I mean, honestly, things come with that word fame and things come with the industry and everything else. But you're right. Honestly, I love what I do. I really do. Like I'm beating shopping now because like I said, this is personal because this is personal. You know what I mean? Like this is
Okay,
about me. A lot of my songs are about situations that I know of, people that
of
are going
course
through things.
they
It's
have to
never
be
really
real.
personally about me. You know what I mean? It's never really
Yeah,
personally about me. So this one I'm really trying to dig into myself and reinvent myself and, find a new place because I love
you're
what I
just
do.
doing what you love. You're just
Yeah.
doing what you love.
Yeah. I love what I do. So I want to keep doing it.
Hey, that's it. You know, and in honesty, you should never stop, because music is transcending forever. You know, you got songs on the radio that have been forever. You
Yeah.
know, and you know you're capable of pulling a couple of those off. In this era, it might be a little easier because based on what I hear, they don't really write the songs that are you know
No.
are forever. They make it, it's microwave.
Seriously. Yeah. It's
You
like I need it
know
now and that's it.
That's it. So,
Yeah.
that part right there, I know for a fact, if you got a great pen and you can write, that part right there
You
is
can't
definitely,
lose.
you can't really lose, because you can always put a record on. I
That's
don't
right.
care if it's one, you know what I mean? We need one right now anyway. So,
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
so
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's some good music on the radio. You know what I mean? I can listen to a few albums, but it's just that my personal style is R&B. I'm still that Mary J. Blige first, second, and third album. I'm still that Keisha Cole, that Brandy. So
because it
that
worked.
is one of
It
those
also
things.
worked.
Yeah, and it's one of there's a timeless sound. It's a timeless story. Things that
Yeah.
people are really going through.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can't miss if you can write like a Mary. and right, like the Keisha Coles and because to
Hmm.
me their first couple albums, I mean they really
Oh
ain't
my
have to
goodness.
sing the rest of the albums at no show.
They
Mary J.
didn't.
first three, and she got about an hour and a half, and the band can extend it so you can get 2 hours out of that. So I
Uh-huh.
know for a fact that and I liked Keisha Cole first album. In fact, when I was DJing at the time, I
Mhm.
told the street promoter in Philly because they used to give me the vinyl for all the hot records. That's how they
Oh,
used to
okay.
really do it. Yeah, they start the record pools were how vinyl at the time. So I
Right.
had got Keisha Cole album, My Hand of God. He told me that I was the only one to call that album out of all of the. I'm talking about every Cosmic Kev, all of them. He even told them. He said, "Man, it's a guy on the street. He outdid all y'all because he told me it wasn't nothing but fire on there." I said, "I don't know what they was talking about." And
Right.
so I've always had an ear for real music anyway. So
Yeah. Yes, I must agree. I must agree. And that's the thing, like everybody don't know sometimes, but real
they be
music is real
guessing.
music. You can't deny it.
Well, no,
You
that
can't
your ear
deny
can
it.
burn out too. Your ear can actually burn out. You know,
True.
if especially when you're listening to the music now, your ear can actually burn
Oh my
out of
gosh, yes,
this
because everything sounds the same. Nothing's different.
everything.
Where's the notes? And me personally, I mean, if I go to the studio, people up here, I live out by Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm actually not in the city. So when I use these studios versus in the city, I need notes. I have background notes. I got color notes. You know what I mean? Like, what happens to the music where it's like you feel that a
Yeah.
bridge, a climax? Where's, interludes,
Oh no.
outros, intros,
You
things like
you
that.
you got to hear the statement that I heard on Fat Joe show. He
Mm.
said that Drake is the Michael Jackson. He said
Of
Drake is the
what?
Michael Jackson of. I said, wait a minute now.
Wait a
We
minute.
we can't talk about Michael Jackson and Drake at the
We're not
same
going to put
time.
those two in the same sentence. We won't do it.
Look, I listened to the Fat Joe show, but when he said that, I was like, I don't know about that one,
Yeah, what does he
But
even mean by? I would have needed him to elaborate on that one because what do you mean Drake's the Michael
well,
Jackson?
I
That doesn't
don't
make
look,
sense.
but he said it, and it went viral, and of course, he caught some heat on that one,
Of
Michael
course he
Jackson,
did.
But the point is, this whole blogging game is really opinions. That's all it is.
Yeah, it
So
is.
if you get on the microphone, trust me, you can just create your own opinion on anything.
Yeah,
And whether it's controversial, if it's controversial, it might
it's
actually
better.
work.
It's better
Yeah.
if it's
So
controversial. Yeah.
if you're talking about somebody, oh yeah, it's really on. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, and well, that's basically it. I just wanted to get you on here
Okay.
and tell people
Cool.
about you got an upcoming project. What's the project name again?
Well, the upcoming project is this is personal. The one that's out and it's on all platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio. Oh my goodness, I've just had a brain just went blank in my brain. But it's
Oh
basically
yeah.
on all platforms. And it's called The Rebirth. It's Kim King. I honestly call that album ride music. That's the music that you put in while you on the ride. And you just
Oh
want to
okay.
cruise and listen to good music. So I think
Okay.
everybody will enjoy that. But you could definitely find more, info on me, bookings at Only One Kim King. You can Google it or you can put it in, Facebook or Instagram, Only One Kim King. And that's the number one.
All righty. Okay. When you drop the second one or the next album, just hit me up,
Yes.
and
Will
then
do.
we'll get it going on another interview. Kim
Will
King,
do.
it's the SL Digital Media Podcast.
Yes.
Holla.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.